Hi friends! So I decided, for God knows what reason, to try a matte foundation. I am not someone that enjoys a mattifying product. I like to add as much hydration and moisture to my skin as possible. I usually lean towards a more hydrating, moisturizing foundation, tinted moisturizer, BB cream, any of those products. Those are more in my comfort zone. But I said, Christina, you gotta live on the edge. Throw caution to the wind and try a matte foundation. And I decided to go for the Clinique Even Better Clinical foundation. Now, this is marketed towards oily and combination skin, which I do not have, but it's also marketed towards mature skin. And since I am 38, soon to be 39, I believe I'm of the mature skin variety, or at least almost there. Got 1 foot in, so I count myself as that. Now, I thought, let me try this foundation. It may work for my skin, so let's see how it goes. So in this video, I'm going to do a little demo, talk about the product, do a wear test, and at the end, give you my final thoughts. So if you want to see all that, keep watching. So let's talk a little bit about the product. Now, what this is supposed to do, it says that it has an 86% skincare formula, whatever that means, it's not really clearly explained, that combines the power of a serum with foundation to give you a weightless, full coverage satin matte finish. So I think what they mean by the 86% skincare formula is that it has a lot of skincare products in it that are supposed to be good for your skin. The ones that I did find were vitamin C, salicylic acid, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamides, just to name a few that I saw on the ingredient list. But they weren't very high on the ingredient list. So that leads me to believe that there's not that much of those products in there. Anyway, this is an oil-free full coverage foundation. It's good, like I mentioned, for combination and oily skin. It has a satin matte finish, and it comes in 42 shades. And the cost of this is $57 at Sephora. Before we get into the demo, let's talk a little bit about the packaging. So right off the bat, I'm not a fan. I don't like the shape. I think it's kind of dated. It kind of looks like an alien spaceship slash weird egg. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't think it's nice. I know it's supposed to, like the lid is supposed to be really locked on tight so that way it stays closed when you're traveling. But I also don't love the top that it has, because if you're older and you have like arthritis or similar issues, you'll have a really hard time opening this. Like, it's not the easiest to open. Like, it slips, you don't get a good grip on it. So I just don't think that the packaging is very thought out. Other than that, it comes with a pump dispenser, and it dispenses product really well. The pump is easy to use. And it's easy to control how much product you want to pump out. The other thing I don't love is the shape. It's kind of clunky and bulky. The fact that it's like so big and round. But yeah, just in general, not a fan of the packaging. Now let's get into the demo. Okay, so I've already done my skincare. I went in with a Drunk Elephant vitamin C serum. Then I went in with a hydrating serum, so Diavino triple oat serum. Love this stuff. And then for moisturizers, I went in with one of my holy grail products, and this is the Biossance Squalane Omega Repair Cream. Really great for dry skin. And then I went in with a few drops of the Supergoop Daily Dose Oil. So I really wanted to prep my skin really nicely for this matte foundation. I'm going to apply this foundation with a damp beauty sponge. Add more hydration in there. So let's go in and apply this. The pump does work quite well, and they do recommend that you start off with a half a pump because a little is supposed to go a long way. So I'm going to do a half a pump here, but first, before we do that, I just want to show it to you guys on the back of my hand. So here it is. It has a very thick, luxurious consistency, and right away it feels quite wet and hydrating when it goes on, and it feels really good. It's very easy to spread out and blend, and you can tell it has some pretty good coverage. Now let's go in and apply this to my face. So we'll start with a half a pump and then build it up. I'll do a half a pump here. Okay, so that's like a half a pump. And I'll start in the middle of my face and blend it out. You can see it has some good coverage, and a little does seem to go a long way. Now for my whole face, I don't think this would be enough, only because it dries really, really quickly. So it is easy to spread, but you got to do it quickly because it will dry up. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more, another half a pump on the back of my hand. There we go. And just add a little bit more to this side to match the other side. And put a little bit on my forehead. So yeah, just remember to work quickly if you're going to use this one, because like I already feel it drying on my skin. A little bit on my chin. And I can hear as I'm putting it on my skin, it sounds a bit dry. Add a little bit under the eyes, since, you know, let's go all out with this and just put it everywhere, because we're not going to be using any concealer. I just want to see how this foundation does. Okay, so here we are. This is one pump for my whole face. It's sitting okay right now, but it's not really. I have a little friend here. This is Maurice. He's joined me for a few days. Say hello, everyone. I think I'll apply just a little bit more. There we go. That's about 2 pumps now. What is going on with me? I don't usually like a lot of foundation, but I'm just trying to, I guess, get a certain coverage. That's as good as we're gonna get there. Let's do a little bit more on this side just to even it out. It does smell a little alcoholy though. Like when I smell it at first, you do get a little bit of that rubbing alcohol smell, which I hate in a foundation. And then the last little bit that I have, I'll just finish off on my forehead. And here we are, all done and covered. And guys, it is as dry as the Sahara Desert on my face right now. Like, it is set. It's dry and it's set. And like, that barely took any time to apply. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup and then show you guys what it looks like, but I will not put any concealer on and definitely no setting powder. Okay, makeup is on. I did not use any setting powder or any concealer because I wanted to see how this foundation lasts throughout the day without any help from a concealer or a powder. Also, the only thing I have on my skin is I put on powder bronzer and powder blush. I did my eyes and put on lipstick. So let's see how this does throughout the day. So far, I like the way it looks. I have tried this a couple of days ago. I did not like the way it applied and the way it sat on my skin. I found that it was really drying out my skin. So today I really wanted to make sure that I give it a good chance to see how it lasts by really moisturizing and hydrating my skin before applying the foundation. So far, I like the way it looks. It's not my favorite foundation, but I like how it looks and how it applies to my skin. Now, I think around my chin and upper lip and here, we will have some issues later, but that's for us to deal with later. I do think I will have a little bit of creasing under my eyes, but again, let's just see how it lasts. But so far, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. For the 2 pumps that I use, I think it distributed really well. It covered really well. Like, I don't miss my concealer right now. I think it looks good on its own, just the way it is. So I like the way it sits on my skin. I like the way it applied to my skin. It doesn't really highlight the pores very much. So far, so good. Let's see how this goes throughout the day as I do my check-ins with you guys. Well, it's been a couple of hours, like 2 or 3 hours since I have applied this. And it's time to do an up close and personal. I mean, I'm not loving it. I don't like how textured my skin is looking, and it's mainly when you're up close. Because when you're far away, it's like, what are you talking about? That foundation looks great. But as you get closer, around my chin, it's looking dry. Around here, it's looking dry. Here, it just does not make my skin look very good. It's just not making my skin look nice. It's not making my skin look hydrated. And I think that has to do with the fact that my skin is a bit on the drier side, and maybe because I do have mature skin. But I think if you have combination or oily skin, you might really like this. But for those with drier skin, I don't think this is for us. But I will continue to do check-ins with you guys just to show you, but I don't think it's promising. But I mean, it does stay put. There's no creasing, no creasing. I didn't apply a lot under my eyes, but still no creasing. Just, I'm not loving how it's making my skin look. That's all. Okay guys, here I am, 5-hour check-in. I think I'm ready to take this off my face. I just don't like how this foundation is making my skin feel, so I just want to get rid of it and wash it. So this is what it looks like right now. Around my chin, it's looking dry and flaky and a little red. Upper lip, looking a little dry. Around here, it's just not sitting nicely at all. Like you can really see my pores. It's moved a little bit. I'm just not really loving how it looks. I don't love that when I move my face in certain areas, it makes my skin look really textured and just it makes it look dehydrated and aged. This is definitely not for me, but I think if you have combination or oily skin, you might like this. And my skin right now, even though it's looking a bit oily, it's feeling a bit tight in certain parts. Every time I move my face and I'm speaking, like around here, it's feeling a little tight. Sometimes around my forehead, it's feeling a little tight. And it just feels like that dry when your skin feels tight and dry. So definitely not for me. I will be returning this foundation. So yeah, I cannot wait to go wash this off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review video. Let me know down in the comments if there's any other products you'd like me to review or any other videos you'd like me to make. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.